Well, Bond doesn't wear hats a lot, but when he does, or when the bad guys do, they really stand out. This is all about the hats of James Bond. Oh, David Zaritsky for the Bond Experience. Welcome back. We're here to talk about that guy right there. We're here to talk about hats. And of course, we've got to start out with talking about all the basics. So this Acme Studio cap, you've seen, now there's a lot of arguments one way or the other, whether it's the one that you see in Spectre, but we've heard through the grapevine that it is. So we're going to take it for granted that it is. But there's other ones. For example, from Skyfall, and yes, folks, we are moving backwards, Bond had to dress up as a chauffeur. And this is a Marine cap. It's a pretty simple one, but Bond wears this when he's picking up or looking for Patrice. Wasn't really looking for him, was he, though? But you remember this indelible outfit right here? Who can forget it? And there's actually more hats to see. Let's take a look. Of course, who can forget in Spectre? One of the best scenes was the pre-title sequence. Here we've got this hat, and this is the correct hat. What's great about this is it's by jacksonhats.com. You can still find them all day long. They aren't expensive, miraculously so. So it's one of these Bond pieces that isn't expensive. I went and found one of these skulls. By the way, these skulls are pretty cool. I know this is a hat video, but all you do is take them. If you want them to look a little bit more like the movie, take a hairdryer to it, melt it a little bit, and shape it into the one of the movie, and get one of these hats. It looks amazing. It really looks the part. But I have to say, this is now one of my new favorite hats, probably because it's topical, it's new, and it's from a Daniel Craig movie. We, of course, have one of the police, the Metro Police hats. This isn't the actual one that was worn by our fine feathered bad guy, but definitely one of them. Definitely stands out. Of course, from Die Another Day, they had the fencing helmet, which you could call it a hat, but it's definitely a helmet. Of course, in GoldenEye, James Bond's compadre, who picked him up in Russia, wore this type of a hat. Of course, it's a replica, but it will keep you warm on those winter nights. Of course, if you take a look over here with View to a Kill, you see Bond's, aka Roger Moore, aka Bond again, the brown riding helmet. What's different about it is there's a lot of black helmets in the movie, even some gray ones, but the brown one, if you were to try to find that on eBay, you would have a hard time of it, but it's worth it because it's indelibly Roger Moore's. Now, although not quite a helmet, it is a headdress, and it's one just like Roger Moore wore in Moonraker, if you remember that part. And I would count it as a hat loosely. Of course, if we go over to Man with a Golden Gun, we notice Knick Knack's hat hanging right on the wall here. Bit of a derby, and probably small in stature. In her Honor Majesty Secret Service, of course, you had Lazenby doing a little bit of subterfuge and hiding, but this is the type of hat. Now, it's not exactly the same. None of these hats that I'm showing you are probably exact replicas, except for one that's coming towards the end, but they're pretty darn close, and they are available. We even have a hat from one of the bad guys in From Diamonds Are Forever. Talk about a completist. If you remember Sean Connery donned a disguise in You Only Live Twice. So here are some of the hats that he might have or probably did. They're replicas, of course. These aren't the screen used ones. So here you've got a combination of obviously the golfing hat, which was straw, a little bit different in the band, but this was good enough to pick up. And then of course Odd Jobs bowler hanging up against the wall. Not incredibly accurate, but a nice representation. But this final one, I think you're going to get a kick out of. So let me explain exactly what this is. This is the Trilby hat in the brown that you see in From Russia with Love. Yes, this was not gray, this was brown. This is directly from Lock & Company Hatterers. I was fitted with this hat, as a matter of fact. So you can see some of the details on the inside. I had this fitted for myself over in London at Lock & Co. So I'm really, really excited not only to have the case here, but obviously the hat, which is very special. I don't think you can get any more special than that when it comes to a James Bond hat, unless you had Odd Jobs, of course. Well, I don't know about you, but I've lost count of the amount of hats that you could find in some of the Bond movies, worn by Bond, worn by the bad guys, etc. But this just gives you a bit of a taste. You want to get more accurate, go out there and hunt. I would say you should. But this has been David Zaritsky for kind of a fun one, the hats of James Bond, and we will see you very soon. Take care. Oh, hey, you're still here. I didn't even know. Listen, while you're here, if you want, so I would actually go to this button right here and click on it, because then you actually subscribe to our vlogs. It's amazing. You get to see all the upcoming stuff first. You get notifications. It screams at you while you're at work. It's absolutely amazing. Just click on this button, hit subscribe. Just move your cursor, move